News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Nathan Hager.
And I'm Karen Moscow.
And Karen, that surge in oil prices comes on new pressure from the U.S. President Trump has ordered a blockade of sanctioned oil tankers off Venezuela. On social media, the president added he is designating President Nicolas Maduro's government a foreign terrorist organization. We get more from Bloomberg's Stephen Stepchinsky.
You can look at this as a play for regime change. I think, he's been putting pressure on this regime, and one way to tighten that pressure even more would obviously be taking one of their biggest revenue areas, and that's oil. Putting curbs on their oil exports. Already, he's been tightening that through the seizure of a ship earlier this month, as well as just restrictions in general, have helped to curb the amount of money flowing into Venezuela and in particular U.S. dollars. But by doing this, you're really siphoning off a very large portion of the revenues from that the regime can get.
And as a result, Bloomberg's Stephen Stepchinsky reports oil is advancing from its lowest level since 2021, though crude still remains on track for a yearly loss.
Meanwhile, Nathan, Bloomberg News has learned the U.S. is preparing a fresh round of sanctions on Russia's energy sector if President Vladimir Putin rejects a peace agreement with Ukraine. The discussions over further sanctions come as U.S. and Ukrainian negotiators have made some advances toward the terms of a potential peace accord, but sticking points remain over issues such as territory and security guarantees.
Let's turn now, Karen, to the latest on the death of actor-director Rob Reiner. The Hollywood legend's son, Nick Reiner, has been charged with first-degree murder in the deaths of his father and mother, Michelle Singer Reiner. Los Angeles County District Attorney Nathan Hochman says prosecutors are still deciding whether to seek the death penalty.
Now, prosecuting these cases involving family members are some of the most challenging and most heart-wrenching cases that this office faces because of the intimate and often brutal nature of the crimes involved.
LA County DA Nathan Hochman says Nick Reiner will undergo a standard medical clearance before he's brought to court to formally hear the charges. He says that if there is evidence of mental illness, it will be presented in court. Nick Reiner was arrested Sunday night after his parents were found dead in their Brentwood home. Rob and Michelle Reiner's closest friends have issued a joint statement mourning the couple as a, quote, special force together, dynamic, unselfish, and inspiring. The list includes Billy Crystal, Albert Brooks, Martin Short, Larry David, and their wives.
Well, in New England, Nathan, the search continues for the suspect in the mass shooting at Brown University. The FBI has released a 5-minute video timeline of the suspected gunman walking and sometimes running through the streets of Providence, Rhode Island, before and after the shooting. Providence Police Chief Oscar Perez is appealing to the public for more information.
If you have any camera systems or any Teslas, like I mentioned, that you look at that footage and that you can reach out to us and please provide us anything that you have.
Providence Police Chief Oscar Perez and other officials have not named any new persons of interest since an initial suspect was released on Sunday night. They also have not indicated a motive, with witnesses giving varying accounts about whether the shooter spoke as he opened fire. The FBI is offering $50,000 for information that leads to an arrest and conviction.
Let's turn to Australia now, Karen, where authorities have charged the surviving gunman in the deadly Sydney Hanukkah attack with 59 offenses, including murder and terrorism. 24-year-old Naveed Akram remains under police guard in the hospital. Here's Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese.
This is an incredibly traumatic time for members of the Australian Jewish community. It has also shaken our nation. Our nation will respond. We will hold people to account for what has occurred.
Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese. Meanwhile, a GoFundMe page has been set up for Ahmed Al-Ahmed, the 43-year-old father who was shot multiple times after tackling and disarming one of the shooters. Donations for Ahmed have passed $2.4 million.
And that's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Karen Moscow.
I'm Nathan Hager, and this is Bloomberg.